Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting interview from the chair where inclusion matters with your host, Nathan. Go ahead and introduce your guest and we'll get the intro started.
Welcome, everybody. And tonight we have Malcolm Phlex and guests, apparently, which is fine. You know, it's an interactive podcast. So,
Okay. So we'll go ahead and do a 30-second break and we'll come in with the first questions. Okay, welcome back, everybody. And again, welcome to Malcolm. And Nathan, go ahead and take it away.
all right. So our first question is, who were your wrestling heroes growing up?
Oh, my wrestling heroes growing up. Well, first I gotta be it'll be Hulk Hogan who got me started. It was WrestleMania where he was slamming Andre the Giant. And over the years, once I started watching, it was Bret Hart. He was the excellence of execution. His technique was flawless, probably greatest of all time. And then you can't take anything away from Ric Flair, as well as Dwayne the Rock Johnson for his charisma.
Cool.
Very good choices.
And Pat, before you start your next question, mystery question.
When you tagged with a team, Cat, did you at all during the match get a hairball?
I know they kept all their hair to themselves for the most part, other than stuff in the tails down the guys' throats and around their necks. So I think they got most of that. I was more worried about getting my hair cut off because I know that they got their beards and hair cut off. So I have my brother's hair in here somewhere, and really special to me. So if they had cut it, I probably would have erupted out there.
Can you tell us how your wrestling name came to be?
So the brand has always been Flex. Flex is always standing up for himself and those who can't stand up for themselves. So that was always the Flex. Always being truthful and honest. So that was always a Flex. Not worried about any of the consequences that were coming, just being me. So that was where the Flex came from, and also the gym. You know, I'm a world record holder in powerlifting for bench and deadlift. So you know, and remote power, strength, and beauty. So that was where Flex came from. I was riding in the car. I started with Flex Walker because I like Walker Texas Ranger. I have a criminal justice degree, so I always thought I was going to be the Ranger. And I love Chuck Norris, so it was Flex Walker. And then I was riding in the car with one of my buddies, Richard Sincere.
Oh, we lost him. So let the fans know what's going on. He's at a training school, so for his training for the night. So all right, and we're back. And
And
There we go.
I think it might be your end, but that's fine. We've all been at a training school, so we understand, how that goes.
yes, okay, appreciate it. Sorry about that. I think I was talking
No,
about
you're good.
riding in the car with one of my buddies, and we were talking about something, and he was like, "You know who you sound like right now? You sound like Malcolm X." So we got to talking, and I was like, Malcolm Flex, Malcolm X, Malcolm Flex, Malcolm Flex. It just rolls off the tongue. So I was like, all right, fine, I'll be Malcolm X, but Malcolm Flex when he came back from Africa, and he was going to spread love across the nation because he was bamboozled and hoodwinked as everyone else. So we're just spreading love one body at a time.
Can you uh, tell us about your two biggest rivals, or some of your biggest rivals?
Biggest rivals right now. I just finished up a story at Power Pro Wrestling with the Massaro family. One's being my trainer in Jeremy Blanchard and Bubba Blanchard as well, the Blanchard brothers, who was a part of the Massaro family, and then also Benny Massaro. So we just finished a storyline there at POW where I had to leave town because I bit off more than I could chew. And I lost the loser leave town match and anything goes. I had to overcome a couple of things, but I would say that would be one of my biggest rivalries. And then I would say I've gone back and forth over the years with Alexander Hammerstone. Um, just whenever he comes into town, I haven't caught him outside of the state or anything, but I would say that would be one of the biggest ones.
Yes, personally, I know the Blanchards pretty well. They went to that training school that I was at a couple of times, and so I've had my own interactions with them in the past.
Gotcha. Are you talking about West Coast Wrestling Connection?
No, we did. I live in Longview, Washington, and we did a one over here in Kelso, and they came down and helped us train
Okay.
for a little bit.
And again, ladies and gentlemen, sorry for the technical difficulties. He is at a training facility and was still gracious enough to join us to do his interview with us tonight. So he'll be right back.
Yes.
Okay, so we're back. You know, and for me as a wrestling fan, that's where I got my start with was the WCWC. So much love to the WCWC.
Yeah, rest in
Okay,
peace.
so Pat, next question, I believe.
How much training did you do weekly, and how many shows do you do a week?
So weekly training. We're here about 4 days a week. Beginners classes on Mondays and Wednesdays from 7 to 10. And then advanced classes from 7 to 10 on Tuesdays and Fridays here at Urban Pro Wrestling School. So we're in here getting it in, sweating, learning the trade. As far as matches go, they range from 3 a weekend or even more if I do if we're talking about just matches. I can have 2 matches a night, sometimes being the workhorse for the company. But for the most part, about average about 3 a week.
So, in doing my research,
Not so fast, Chairman. Mystery question.
Mystery box.
Yes, exactly.
Hang on, if I can get it to work. Hang on, mystery question. There you go.
Can you tell us a little bit about the promotion SOS to us? It seems like it's more of a gimmick promotion. Like they have like a lot of like comedy gimmicks and
Well, yeah, it was a bunch of wrestlers that were on a plane, and this happened during COVID. There were a bunch of wrestlers on a plane who crash landed on an island, and they had a wrestling ring. Next thing you know, they have matches. They crowned a champion in Rebel Kell at the end of one season, and then they started doing live shows. I want to say last year, 2022. So we've been running strong there for the last year and a half now. So as
very
far as gimmick matches, comedy, yes, because you got a bunch of characters that were on the plane who bumped their heads. So yeah, they're having fun out there on a deserted island.
so it's like Gilligan's Island meets pro wrestling.
Correct. It's a blast. I'm actually the SOS Pro Wrestling champion currently there.
So you talked about the Bizarro family. I know you were a part of that for a while. Could you tell us how that was formed?
How it was formed? Well, I was with the Cool Hills. I don't know if you know that. I was with the Cool Hills around. Just a bunch of guys, and Richardson's here, Eric Wright, just getting in the car, trying to get out there more. And we were the Cool Hills. Well, I would link up with them at PAL, and they were ran off by the Blanchards, and the Blanchards recruited me. And I went ahead and met with Vinny and Uncle Sal. They told me that they wanted to make me their top earner, so that's what I did. I went out there and I was kind of the hoss for the family, did all the dirty work for everyone else. And then the crowd took a liking to me, and it felt good, the energy they were giving me, and I kind of lost sight with that, and we split ways because there's nothing like the roar of the crowd cheering for you.
And it's funny you brought up the Cool Heels. Yesterday we did somebody that brought up your name, actually. An interview with somebody that brought up your name, actually, which was Mr. Tubbs.
Oh yeah, Tubbs, the manager. Yes, he's a good guy. He was in that car as well. Every once in a while, these days it's hard to convince a promoter to hire a manager.
In fact, the question we asked him was, what are some of the wrestlers that promoters were missing out on? And you were the first name that he mentioned.
Yeah, he's a genuine guy. He's always looked out. A little rascally, but hey, genuine.
What advice, if any, did anybody give you, and do you still use that advice today?
Mainly mindset is everything. That changed my outlook on life, outlook on business, outlook on pro wrestling. You have a winning mindset. You're always looking towards the positive. You're setting goals. You're achieving those goals. You're rewarding yourself when you do achieve them, and you continue on being consistent and continue to grow and pull those up with you as you can. So, mindset, like I said, is everything. That's the most and best advice I would get. And then I would say the second thing was just stay consistent. Stay consistent in the gym, training, and don't stop. I know there's a couple years back I wasn't getting a lot of work. So someone was like, no one cares, get better. And so that's where I had to buckle down, get better with my skill set and what I did in the ring. And that's gone a long way. It's just don't worry about all the noise. You got your goals, focus on that, get better. And then once I start taking that mindset, I started to get booked all over the place. I'm actually in Costa Rica, I want to say the 28th to the 2nd for a tournament at Riot Pro Wrestling. On the 30th is when we actually having the show for a tournament.
Very cool. Okay, so this is kind of same
mystery
question.
Nope, mystery question.
Mystery question.
There goes that mystery question again.
You're like a question mark to pop up.
I know, right?
Yeah.
This one's probably gonna make you laugh. What was it like facing the Hall of Fame tag team, the Legion of Gloom? And I have a follow-up to that. Did the Fago burn?
All right. So, what was it like facing the Legion of Gloom, and what was the follow-up?
Did the Fago they threw in your face burn when it hit your eyes?
Listen, I wanted to murder that guy for that Fago. I first slipped out when I came out, so my boots were sticky. I don't know if you know anything. I am very clean. Cleanliness is close to godliness, so I like to stay fresh. And then when he threw it in my face, it was just a a different feeling. I don't know if it stuck to me because I was fuming so hard. It evaporated pretty quickly. But when I got my hands on him, I was trying my best not to break his neck. But no, it did not burn. I was burning more on the inside than anything.
Well, and I can tell you from somebody that's been to some of the ICP concerts, that is some sticky soda. So not
Yeah,
surprised that it
I've never
stuck there.
been. That was the first time I've ever seen it. I did taste it. It is delicious, very sweet, sugary. I'm trying to work on my abs right now, so I got to stay away from it as much as possible. But that cotton candy is
Under
amazing.
Yes, that's my favorite flavor actually.
Yeah, yeah.
So this is kind of similar to the advice one. What was the first advice that your trainer ever gave you?
Eyes and ears open, mouth closed. Learn. Sit back and observe. Learn. Take all the information you can get in. Learn all you can from any and everybody. Take it what you can that works best for you and use it. Perfect your craft. Stay consistent.
You said you were traveling to Costa Rica, right?
That's correct. Riot Pro Wrestling.
Um, how's it? What is it like traveling to other countries? And what's
Well,
the experience?
so this is my first time going internationally other than Canada. Um, so I know Canada is all love when you go up there. The fans are very receptive to pro wrestling there. This will be my first time traveling to Costa Rica, and hopefully we make this a thing. Um, so I'm going up there to teach a couple of kids, and then joining the tournament there. But I'm hoping to have a blast. That's why I'm staying out there as long, because I'm gonna see some sights while I'm out there and make the most of it while I'm out there. But we should have some good competition out there. There's some good kids out there right now, and we're gonna stop some luchas from being lucha and stop them from flipping around.
Can you tell us how your finishers came to be?
Finishers. So I played college football, semi-pro football, arena football. So it's one of the reasons why I do the tackle, the spear, um, because I can drive through, throw my weight on someone, get them down, soften up the midsection a bit, and then finally when I hit it, they're down. So it's more of a signature now. I'll come off the top. I was talking to someone, and we were talking about Farouk and telling me to come off the second rope. One day I came off the second rope, and I was like, you know what? Let's go up. It's more, you get more if I'm from up higher. So throw my leg from the top rope to knock out their shoulder or hit them in the midsection. They should be able to stay down after that with all this mass coming down on them.
Very cool. Pat, there you go.
My favorite snack is cookies. What is your favorite cookie or snack?
My favorite is a cookie, and it's going to be Keebler Elves. At a family, my second family, I used to watch the kids from the time they came from the hospital, and I would walk into their garage. They would leave it open for me to come in there, and there was a cookie jar. I would eat all the cookies out of the cookie jar, and their oldest son got in trouble one day. This is when I knew I was the Cookie Monster, because he got in trouble, and then when they realized 2 days later that it was me, what they would start doing is buying cookies for the cookie jar and another one that they kept in the cabinet so that they had them for me. Keebler Elves, though.
Very
It
good choice.
changed the
I
recipe
like
on those. Yeah.
I like those also. Who was the last person to give you advice on your wrestling skills in particular, and do you still use that advice today?
One more time with the first part.
Who was the last person to give you advice on your wrestling skills in particular? And do you still use
Last
that
person to
advice
give me.
today?
I'm getting advice daily, especially with my partners here, Midnight Heat, Ricky Gibson, Eddie Pearl. That's who I got to, no one cares, get better. Um, so yes, I use that to this day, Ricky Gibson. And then I'll throw a couple matches to people's way. Last person I filmed to and got feedback from was Funny Bone out of Las Vegas. He actually travels all over the place, but Funny Bone it really tells me to quit the business. But he uh, he gave me some advice on just how to carry myself and everything inside and outside the ring that I use to this day. He kind of took me underneath his wing at PAL once I split from the Massaro family. But I let him know we are competitors, and I am coming for his PAL championship. Well, not now because I'm not there, but still.
Who knows? You could come for another title sometime that he might have, so that could still, be a thing.
Absolutely, I'm coming for him.
How would you describe your wrestling style?
Power, precision. I try to be a little technical, but it doesn't get over very well. So mostly power, methodical. I like to focus on one area, like I was telling you about the abdominal area, weaken that up so that I can hit them with all my weight in it to knock the wind out of them and to keep them down. That's the weight or the air.
So I noticed doing my research today and last night that you wrestle a lot of tag teams. Can you tell us some of the toughest tag teams you wrestled?
Uh, toughest tag teams. Toughest tag teams. Can't think of any off RAM. I guess Midnight Heat, who's won championships all over the place. There was the Legion of Gloom. Who else is out there? The Bash Brothers, Konami Code. Toughest, I would say Konami Code. They're so quick. I don't think I've ever gotten a dub on those guys, but they're killing it at DOA right now. Um, yeah, I guess those are the tag teams there.
Who is your toughest opponent to date and why?
Toughest opponent to date. I would have to say Vinny Massaro because we just finished that up. Um, I haven't. I don't think I've got the win over him, and so that kind of is bitter in my mouth right now. So I would say he would be the toughest because I had to overcome all his mind games and everything, trying to hold me back and keep me underneath his thumb with him and Uncle Sal.
Well, I have to say, in the match I watched from PAL, when you had to take on that gauntlet match with the Blanchard brothers, and then you
Oh
had to
yeah,
face Vinny right afterwards, I thought you were going to pull that one out.
yeah, I thought so too. I believe there was some tomfoolery with Mister jumping up on the apron, distracting me there, and I had him pinned and pulled the ref. So it took a little bit of time for him to recover, and he snuck it out on me at the end.
If you could work for the 4 major promotions, which one would you choose and why?
Give me your 4 major promotions.
Like WWE, AEW, MLW, or even some of the like top indie ones like CMLL, if you went to Mexico or
So those are your 4. If I were to pick one, because my 4 would have New Japan in it, and if anything, it would be New Japan.
got ya.
And that
Yeah,
was
I do.
actually one of the original of the 4. So you got to forgive
Yeah.
our host for failing that research there.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
no
knew I
worries,
forgot
no
one.
worries. I just wanted to know who your 4 were. You never know. You might see me there soon. Who knows?
That would be
If
cool.
you had a dream match, what would it be? Who would be involved? And why and who would you put over in that match?
Oh, a dream match, huh? I mean, I know he's Mr. Hollywood right now, but I would love to go toe to toe with Dwayne the Rock Johnson. Um,
Ooh.
I would
and
love
it
to
could
see
be
that
any.
one.
It would be anywhere. Straight up. You know, whoever gets the pin or submission, just a straight up match. Um, and then my other one would definitely be Bret Hart. I could learn a thing or two with his presence in the ring. But what type of match? Like I said, all straight up. I love my thing is pro wrestling. I love the competition in it. So a straight up match is always my favorite. Either pin them or submit them. Those are my favorite.
Okay. So before you ask your question, Nathan, I'm going to ask one of the mystery questions because I want to get involved. So
Okay.
actually, it's a two-parter. First of all, can you tell us about your rivalry with Hammerstone? And part two of that question is, how did Hammerstone get that Class 2 concussion in your match?
So this rivalry started about 5, 6 years ago at WC. I was coming up the ranks. He was the guy there. And so I was coming up the ranks and I would just get bullied. I started to put some size on me. I did stay quick. So that's how it started there. I think I was with the Cool Hills when that happened. And so we would also go at him. The Cool Hills and I would go at him quite a bit to try to weaken him. How he got the concussion, I believe. Oh man, I can't even remember that. I know this was that PAL that you're speaking of, right?
I think
Yeah.
so,
It was
yeah.
something that he took that got him in the head, if I can remember. You got me stumped. You got me. I can't remember what happened. I believe Oh, that's right. It was the Cool Hills still at PAL, and this is prior to them leaving. I believe he went through a table, and we beat him up pretty bad. And yeah, I just saw a weakness and then tried to exploit it.
Very smart. And I do have to say, the promo you cut after that from like what looked like your home theater when you were watching, him and you cut that promo was
Yeah,
beautiful, by the way.
I appreciate it. I try.
What is the best match of your career so far, and who was it against?
Man, I've had a couple of good ones lately. I want to say one of my best ones was probably against Davey Richards at PAL at Bear
Ooh,
Alley. It was one of my better matches, and they're always good with Hammerstone. Um, but I'd say my best one would definitely be with Davey Richards. He definitely taught me a couple things in there that I won't forget, and I use to this day and teach the kids now. There's something about wrestling guys that are better than you that you learn how they maneuver in there and what to do. So I would say that was probably one of my better matches. Like I've had some good ones. My last one with it fall, but at SOS for the SOS the championship, that was a pretty good one. Straight up, he stole my title, and I got it back that night. So that I would say that would be another one as well. There's been a couple in there over the last couple months. Been riding hot and wrestling some good guys.
What mark do you feel you have left on the wrestling industry?
Right now, I'm just cementing my legacy. Right now, we're doing it here at Oregon Pro Wrestling School, training up the people here in the Pacific Northwest. They go out there and work. It's one of my biggest things. Like I was always told like, years ago, get out of the Pacific Northwest if you want to do something in this business. But me being a father, I wanted to be around for my kids, and now is the time to go out and accomplish what I know I can accomplish. So that's why I'm traveling a little bit more now. Um, and yeah, just travel, making my mark on the business, I got into this to be the best, the most outstanding, if you will, in professional wrestling. So that's what I'm trying to do right now, and still bringing up people as I'm doing it. So trying to be the guy that blazes the trail for everyone else to come afterwards.
And I want to take this time before we get to our sponsor to say hello to Dean, who's in the chat. So, and then we want to thank our sponsor, the CARE program, which stands for Community Action Reaching Everybody. And if you want to get a hold of the lady that's in charge of that, you can get a hold of Becky Bernhardt on Facebook. We've all seen some pretty nasty injuries, like Dante Martin's injury at Supercard of Honor. What is the worst injury you've gotten, if any?
No, I've never been injured. Thanks. I'm kind of superstitious with that. But no, I haven't had any serious injuries or anything. A couple, bumps and scrapes here and there, but nothing serious. So hurt, not injured. I don't know if you watched the program back in the day, this football movie back. So are you hurt or you injured? And I've been hurt quite a bit, but never injured or to keep me out for a while.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
If you could book one match as a promoter, who would it be? Who would be the wrestlers involved? What would the match be, and what would it be, and what would the outcome be?
Well, I was a booker at Portland Lucha Libre for a while. Used a couple of our kids out here in a couple of matches. But if you're talking about large scale, what I would book right now to bring in the fans, see, who would I use? Man, that's a question. I didn't have my boss hat on today, huh? So, huh. You know what? Midnight Heat, because he's back here right now, so I'm gonna give him a shout out. Ricky Gibson in the corner against hey, who's the tag team that you want to wrestle? C4. No, I was thinking Eaton. Midnight Express. There you go. Thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna make this a little interactive. Hey Ricky, if you need any stories about Draven Vargas, hit me up. I got some.
I got the headphones on. He can't hear you.
Oh, okay. So we know that Levi Cooper's a guest trainer at the Oregon Wrestling Academy. Have you ever got a chance to train with him a little bit?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I actually tagged with him at the Prestige in Roseland. I think it was Roseland 2. It was his first indie match. I got to tag with him before he went up to Defy and started working with Midnight Heat up there. So I had I consulted for a play out here. The elaborate entrance. Oh wow, I forgot the name of the guy. We did a play, and he played a couple of characters in that play.
Yes, he
I was
did.
a wrestling consultant for that. So, and yeah, he's here quite often, helping the kids out and everything too. So not only the kids, but he's helping us out as well. So just how to run things and make them smoother.
Make sure you clean up your sweat.
Well, that's awesome. Side note on that, on the Levi Cooper, he was our inaugural, very first interview for this podcast.
Oh, nice, beautiful. Yeah. Oh,
Yep.
The elaborate entrance of Chad Deity. That's the name of the play.
Yes.
In your personal opinion, can you name your top 5 tag teams of all time and why?
Man, I'm not a tag team guy. I know you see me in a bunch of tag teams, but um, sheesh. Um, Head Shakers, the Rockers,
Ooh.
Midnight Express. Uh, man, Hollywood Blondes. I think that's four. And then, man, can I name the Horsemen in there? Um,
You can put the horseman in
Absolutely.
there. You can put the
Yeah.
horseman in there.
yeah, yeah, those are my five. Yeah, I know I didn't say anything about Arn, but he's definitely helping with my skill set, watching his film and how he moves in there. Two stocky guys, so it's similar. They are breathing heavy today.
I was gonna say, I told you I was in the training school, and that kind of like I had a flashback to what I would watch the wrestlers do. When I
Yeah,
was hearing that
yeah,
stuff in the background.
yeah.
So, what advice would you give a person who wanted to pursue a career as a professional wrestler?
Find a school. Um, find a school, and train some more. No matter if you get on shows or not, continue to train. It's kind of asinine to call yourself a pro wrestler and you don't train. Name any other profession that you or professional sport that you don't train. So I would say find a school first, and then make sure you stay consistent on your diet and working out, and get to know your body. But definitely find a school. Make sure you get your mind right.
Could you give us a list of your top 5 best opponents and why they were listed the way they were?
Oh man, do I really have to do that? Cool. Top five best opponents. Like I said, Davey Richards is probably my best match. Just his technical skill in there and like how he maneuvered. Um, Pitfall Jones, great storyteller, great to work with in the ring. Um, hmm, Hammerstone would be in there as well. Just because of the clashing of the two big guys. And then Cal Jack. And then let's go with, man, five. I'll leave somebody out here. And then Vinny. Like I said, these are the ones that stick out right now because it is the most recent for me. That they've been good shows and we've gotten good responses from them.
So, if somebody came up to you and said they wanted to be a pro wrestler, would you train them?
Yeah, like I said, if they come in here uh, and pay for it, absolutely. Whether or not they make it through, that's definitely on how much work they put in, how consistent they stay, because it's really on the individual on how much work they put in, on if you see them in the ring or not.
We've asked that question a lot, and I think that's the most honest answer anybody's ever given us. Yeah,
I mean,
I'll trade them. If they
yeah,
come in here and they want to pay their
yeah,
money to do it, then
yeah. Yeah, and then there's a time and a place that you might need to have a talk. If it's someone who just doesn't know their body and they're going to hurt themselves, um, then yeah, we may have to have that talk. But other than that, like you're more than welcome to come in if you want to do it. We're all inclusive here. So like I said, if you come in here, you want to do it, you want to pay $200 to pass go, you want to pay that lifetime membership, yeah, come on in. Like I said, it's all about who wants to put in the work.
Vintage toys that go off like hip toys. They're set to go off.
Could you name your top 5 managers from 5 to 1 and why?
They play old movies.
I don't even have top five. Alex Hubbs is number one. Who else do we got? Paul Heyman. no question. I mean, he's killing it right now. There's no one like him. Jimmy Hart, because he was with Hogan for a while, so that's who I knew. Would you call Brutus the Barber Beefcake a manager? Yeah. And
Well,
Vincent.
I know he managed for a little bit,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
yeah, that'll work.
Yeah, and Vincent.
Ooh, nice.
Now we gotta black this out because the whole time. Yeah, go on. Okay, you're looking at your arm.
What are your future goals for yourself in professional wrestling?
Future goals. Right now, short term, cut some body fat off of me, increase my endurance, travel into different countries. So I'm about to knock Costa Rica off. I may be going to Australia soon. Who knows? New Zealand, if you will. So just to travel more and to get as many kids through here, through the system as possible. I think looking to have good quality matches. And then possibly get signed. Like I said, New Japan is where I have my eye. So hopefully that we make that happen.
And like I said, I've
Roger.
done a lot of research on you getting ready for this, and your style would fit perfectly in New Japan.
Yes, I believe so. I
Oh,
was
most
told that
definitely.
someone came here and they were like, if your style is that way, New Japan is where you need to be. So we've definitely made some steps and strides in that direction. So we'll see what the future holds.
In your opinion, who is the better wrestler turned actor?
Oh, come on. uh, man, I mean, are we talking about dollars and cents? Are we talking about acting ability? Because um, there's some good ones out there. You had Hogan, you had Piper, you got The Rock right now, you got Batista doing it right now. Um, the best, I don't know if I have a best right now. I always commend people for doing the work that they do. They had a plan, they executed it, they stayed consistent, and they're doing it now. So, and they're always trying to hone their craft. I mean, look, Cena's killing it now too as well. And so I've done it on a small scale, doing a little extra work here and there. Got a speaking line and a play out here that should be in a little indie film, and consult it for a play. So on a small scale, trying to emulate what these guys are doing to the best of my ability, and just try to do it on a larger scale at this point. So I don't know if I have an order with that. I don't know if I answered your question, but I don't have a best right now because is it about the dollars and cents? Is it about the acting ability? So I did love The Rock in the game plan though. But once you see a Rock movie, you're just watching The Rock.
Well, you kind of answered my next question. What's your favorite wrestling movie or TV series?
Wrestling movie. That was a football movie, but wrestling movie. I would say the Wrestler with Mickey Rourke is a pretty good one. And then there's an honorable mention in there, Kayfabe. If you've ever seen that, it's on YouTube. You can watch it. A bunch of Canadian wrestlers put together a silly movie, and it is brilliant.
Yes, I've actually seen that movie, and you're right, it is brilliant.
Okay, this next question, I'm kind of changing it up a little. Who are your top 5 female wrestlers of all time?
Wow, I haven't put my thought about it. I mean, 'cause when you ask like all time, like I don't really have like a comparison for anything. All time, uh, China. Um, all time, I mean Sasha. I don't know what do you call her now? Sasha Banks. Becky Lynch is killing it right now. Um, all time. How many is that?
3.
Oh, you would be keeping track, wouldn't you? Um,
Of course he would.
uh,
I'm just good with
man,
numbers.
all time. You know who else is pretty good? Man, I was just watching her the other day too. Mickey James.
Mm.
Hmm.
And then who else is pretty good right now? Shout out to Delilah Doom. I saw her in um, California during Mania Week. We were at a Relentless show. She was her and Eli against Derek Drexel and Funny Bone, and I had never seen them before, Delilah Doom, but I thought their work was brilliant. Um, just the energy that they brought to it. The character are unbelievable. To check their pulse through it, I don't think I've ever gotten excited like that about a match before. I was like, what is going on here? It's annoyingly fun.
So we have a question from Dean. He says, "Do you think wrestling should go back to kayfabe or stay sports entertainment?"
I don't understand the question.
So he wants to know that should it go back to kayfabe where there's more secrets or where people can find stuff like on the internet readily as they can now.
I mean, you're gonna get that with the internet now anyway. I don't know that it ever stopped. I don't.
Good answer.
Yeah.
What is one story that you can't look up about you uh, online that you can tell us that somebody would go, "Oh my God, I can't believe that."
Uh, let's see why I'm so cautious in my safety. So I got a poop story for you. Several actually. Is this appropriate?
Sure.
So I was 18 years old. Just finished high school. I was taking off a year before I went to college. I was working for this airline called Swissport because I got laid off from Alaska Airlines after 6 months. Didn't pass my probation because I was a minute late 9 times. So that's why I'm 15 minutes early everywhere I go, or 30 minutes. But I was working for the Swissport place, and you had these British Airway planes that you had to clean the lavs. You had to put this hose up and turn a nozzle, right? You turn that nozzle, you have to listen for a click. You don't listen for that click. You pull down the nozzle, all the juice is going to fall down on you. Where you have safety
Oh,
equipment that you're supposed to have, like a shield, gloves, and a schmuck. Let's just say blue juice does not taste good. Neither does tissue and other people's feces on you. This was my last day
oh,
there. And
oh.
whenever it comes to safety protocol, I am the safety guy. Yeah, that was the experience. I was definitely a learning experience. But yeah, it was pretty horrible. And a couple of road trip stories too, with Midnight Heat on the road with them, go to Buffalo Wild Wings, eat spicy food, and it doesn't sit well with me, and trying to find a bathroom. Yeah, yeah, those are some pretty wild stories.
Yeah, I've been on a road trip with some wrestlers when we go to a restaurant and everybody's running for a bathroom at one time because.
Yeah, yeah.
So I have a question that's not on the list because we kind of blew through the ones that we had written down. When you wrestled we knew him as Mister Ooh La La in WCWC. Did you ever get blinded by the jackets he wears?
No, I actually like his style. Never blinded by his jackets. I never worked with Mister at WC, just mainly at PAL, because Bubba brought me in, took a liking to me. He's always liked me um, from when I started training, and so when he gave me the opportunity, I ran with it. Um, but blinded by his outfits, not at all. And I tell him to keep shining, baby, keep shining.
So, Mister Mystery question, you got any more up there in that big brain of yours, or?
Watch it there, forehead.
I'm not a forehead anymore. You can see my whole face now.
Yeah.
No, I don't think. I mean, he answered the island question for SOS. I mean, I guess he could tell us how he became the SOS champion.
There you go. That's a good one.
It was a 2-year-long storyline there, where Steve Miggs' biggest fan was always getting crapped on by Steve Miggs. He realized that Steve Miggs didn't need him, and he didn't need Steve Miggs. Steve Miggs left him there for a whole month, tied up with tape, and didn't release him. So after my match that night, I went and took him out. He came back to the back, talked to me, and told me that he was going to give me the Golden Wilson that he beat me in a battle royal. So he won the Golden Wilson, which allows you to cash it in for a chance at the title. So he brought a storyline to place that night by handing me the Golden Wilson out of an act of kindness. And I hit Steve Miggs with a shoulder tackle to pin him 1-2-3 to become the SOS champion back in February.
Very cool.
I have a question. Who is the better promo between The Miz and MJF?
Better promo. So I don't watch a lot of AEW. So by default, I'm gonna have to go with The Miz. So yeah, I don't watch a lot of AEW. I've heard of MJF. I know I saw him at AEW, but I haven't seen, as far as the promo goes, like Miz is pretty good. He plays his character pretty well. So I'd say The Miz by default.
So when you were in the WC, very much so. When you were in the WCWC, did you ever get a chance to work with Jacob Fatu?
No, I've seen him in passing, but never actually got to work him. I was hoping to work him at PAL. Who knows what the future holds, though? So you guys can. But yes, he's one of the ones on my bucket list to work.
So that's pretty much our questions. Do you have anything you'd want to promote coming up for you? I know you said you're going to Costa Rica. But...
I am going to Costa Rica for a tournament April 30th at Riot Pro Wrestling for the Progad Cup. We'll see who wins that. I think I have Tyler Hawk in the semifinals in this tournament. So we'll go out there and bring that Progad Cup home. And then shout out to the delegation. You hear the name now. And so just keep your eyes peeled. And shout out to Fale Dojo. We'll see you guys in June.
Very cool.
So we want to thank you for being on, and good luck on your training today. It sounds like they're really going at it pretty good back there. So.
Oh, yes, they are. Yes, they are. Always. Always. All right, guys. Thanks for having me. I appreciate you.
Absolutely.
No problem.
Yeah.
Thank you. Safe travels. Have fun.
Thank you as well.
All right. So in closing, everybody, thank you for a great interview. And please help control the pet population. Have your host and co-host spaded or neutered. And also a flea dip. Thank you.
That's debatable.